Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Jennifer Thomas. I'm a pianist, violinist, composer, and recording artist. Congratulations if you are here, because this is the first of what I hope to be many piano tutorials from my tutorial series. Please take a second to subscribe to my channel so that you can stay up to date with any future tutorials I put out, as well as my other content such as music videos, vlogs, and behind the scenes. So this first tutorial is for my original song, Illumination. It's from my 2012 album called Illumination, and it was the highest requested tutorial from you guys. I'm excited to do this for you, and I just kind of want to give you a quick rundown of what you can expect. So before we get started, I wanted to let you know that I spent a lot of time researching other piano tutorials on YouTube to see what was out there, what was the most popular formats, and what worked best for people. What I found is the most popular format is where you see an overhead view of the keyboard with the MIDI score coming down so you can see the notes. I want to let you know that I am going to be doing that for you, but it's going to be at the end of this video. The first part of this tutorial is going to be what is sort of a mini piano lesson where I cover fingering, technique, and certain passages that you guys actually left in the comments and specified. Something that I really believe in is not practice, but perfect practice. And the more that you learn something correctly and practice it the correct way, you're going to get it in your fingers the right way as well. Also, I compose and transcribe all of my music myself, so I can't emphasize this enough, but please make sure you download a copy of the sheet music. Don't try to get it for free somewhere. If you do happen to see it for free, it was not approved by me, and don't be a pirate. You can find all of my sheet music on my website, jenniferthomasmusic.com. You can find the music in PDF downloads, also physical songbooks, and you can also find select songs from my catalog on musicnotes.com. All right, so let's get started. Now, Illumination is a song full of 16th notes. And it would be a complete injustice to learn this song without learning those 16th notes with complete precision, otherwise it could end up sounding really uneven and sloppy. Playing 16th notes with precision takes a lot of repetitious practicing to strengthen your finger muscles, starting with slow practice first. Let's just take the beginning of the song, playing it at half tempo, making sure we play each of those 16th notes very evenly. Great, good job. So another tip I want to give you is finding an accent focal point for each of the groupings of 16ths. If you noticed what I did, I was accenting the first note of each groups of 4. This gives you a point to focus on and something to keep the drive even. Once you're confident that you can play those 16th notes evenly, then you can slowly pick up the tempo more and more and more. I know that slow practice can take a lot of patience, but I promise you that if you can play it slowly perfect, and then you keep speeding it up until you get to full tempo, you will be able to play it at full tempo really amazingly. One of the biggest comments I actually get from you guys playing this song is that your hands cramp up because of how many repetitive 16th notes you are playing, and your hands just get really, really tired. One thing that I want to suggest is practicing the hand and finger exercises. I cannot emphasize this enough. These hand and exercises have helped me develop a lot of finger muscles and dexterity. Think of the hand and exercises as kind of like weightlifting for your fingers. The next thing I want to cover is actually something that one of you mentioned, and it's the ascending and descending runs in your right hand. They are at measure 50 and 51, and also 58 and 59. So the right hand is basically just doing a pattern that repeats itself up, and then a pattern that goes back down and repeats itself. And once you can figure out the fingering for that, you just repeat the pattern as you ascend and descend. So I'm going to show you the fingering that I actually use for this. Another spot in the song where we have a descending pattern is actually at the very end of the song, and it starts on measure 94. It's really important to get the fingering correctly there, because if you don't nail the fingering, you're not going to nail that descending section. So the last thing I want to cover in this mini lesson is probably one of the most important things, and it's the emotion of how you play the song. With a song like this that sounds like it's on a continual wheel of motion, it never stops, you don't want to play it like you're just on autopilot. It's really important to pay attention to the dynamics of the piece and the crescendos and decrescendos. For example, let me just start at the very beginning and show you how I play that. I really accent the first note, and then I back off, and then I swell. The next section that I want to point out in dynamics is actually measure 73, and I wrote in the notes here to play it delicately. And so you start out really soft, and it has this really long, slow build. You can have so much emotion still in playing quietly, and again, you keep that drive with the 16th notes going. Point where then you can explode into a fortissimo there, and it makes that fortissimo stand out so much more and just have more impact in the song when you can play the section before that with softer dynamics and let it just build. All right, so that is basically it for the mini lesson. Remember, 16th note precision, dynamics, emotion, and finding those fingering patterns in your descending and ascending section. So now we're going to get to what most of you have probably been waiting for, which is the overhead view of the keys with the MIDI score. So let's get to that next. And again, thank you so much for being here and for being a part of my very first debut tutorial. I hope that you liked it, and leave me comments below on other songs you want me to do. And if you have any more questions on this song, I will answer them in the comments below. Thank you guys so much. So the last thing I want to cover